as a corporate girly with depression, sometimes you be on the verge of tears and still gotta go do your thug thistle. So get ready with me to go to a work event. And I decided to really do my thing with my makeup because one of my first loves was actually makeup. Like, fashion definitely was like the first, but one of the first was makeup for me. So I was kind of inspired by Makeup by Esther. So I decided to do some underpainting, because I just look at how flawless her base is, and I'm like, it has to be a result of underpainting. And all of the products will be in the description. I'm gonna be like switching between talking about makeup and then like talking about like life, okay, when the clips are playing. So yeah. Also, this my camera fell like 5 bajillion times. I forgot to turn my mic on, so that's why we're doing a voiceover. But anyways, I'm starting to underpaint with my Elf Putty bronzer, and I just was like thinking about when I first started wearing makeup. I was experimenting with it as young as like 8, 9, 10 years old. My mom allowed me to start wearing makeup, like actual makeup, to school once I was not 17. Once I was in the 7th grade slash 8th grade, and then like the love just continued from there. I mean, I was beating my face at 6 a.m. in the morning to make it to school, for a 9 by the time I was 15. Like, that's what it was. Now I'm using the Elf Putty blush. I'm using it in the shade Tahiti. I usually am an orange blush girly, but Esther religiously uses pink blush. And then I went over with like this random ColourPop like lip blot thingy I had just to make it like stronger. But prior to this, all that was the Elf Putty blush. Like, that stuff is really buildable and I love it. But I felt like blush was just so crucial in this look. And then I'm going to go in with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer because I like to use like a skin tone concealer first, and I love applying concealer with a brush. So watch me blend that out. But I was talking in the clip before this about how we live in an era where everybody will be like, you need this specific product in order to have this specific look. And it's so crazy because during the time where I was learning makeup, in the early to mid 2010s, they were actually teaching you how to get the most out of every product, how to do a full face with lipstick, eyeliner, like how to do your whole face with 5 products. And it's just so crazy how the tone around makeup and like the necessity of certain products has changed. Like, makeup used to be a thing that was always seen as like consumer friendly, that there was always ways to make it accessible to yourself, and now it feels not that way at all. Like, if you want this blush look, you have to buy this blush. Like, baby, no you don't. No you don't. Anyways, I'm using the Danessa Marks Blurring Skin. I always fuck that shit up. I'm putting in the description. I'm using that as my foundation, and I'm putting it everywhere where there's not already like blush and bronzer, and then I go over the blush and bronzer just a little bit to like meld everything together and like the concealer together. But I literally hit pan on this product and I haven't even owned it for a year. That's how you know it's that good. And it also shows how busy I've gotten. Like, working in corporate, nobody told me I would attend this many events. This is my second big event, and I've only been working there as of this month, 8 months. Um, and I had a work event that I went to the day before that. So technically, it's 3 events, but the 2 events I went to this week were under one header of events. Does that make sense? Yeah, nobody told me how busy I would be. They never told me how many clothes I was gonna have to buy. How many like formal clothes I was gonna have to buy. I made a TikTok about that. So if you're a corporate girly or you're about to be, invest in some formal clothes if you don't already have any, because Buki, you're gonna be dressing and finessing and fraternizing and partying, because every work event I didn't went to, baby, they go all out, and that alcohol do be on deck. Now I'm going with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm about to go into a tangent about how y'all really don't know the techniques no more, but it's not really y'all fault. But y'all need to go clock into the OG beauty YouTubers, the girls that used to work at MAC. Everything I know about makeup now, I know from Miss Jackie Aina, okay, because she used to be a MAC girly, and she's the one who taught me the art of how highlight and contour works. So I'm explaining here that makeup is an optical illusion. So where you want your face to recede, that's where you put contour. Where you want it to come forward, that's where you put highlight. And bronzer and blush is to just round everything out, bring color back to the face, and pull it all together. But like, for example, I have a big forehead. That's why I don't put concealer on my forehead. I already got a big forehead, girl. But I do put bronzer. And if I was to put concealer on my forehead, I would put literally a tiny dot and then put way more bronzer in proportion to create the optical illusion of a smaller forehead. That's what I'm explaining here right now. And because of that, I actually went in with more bronzer on my forehead because I was like, girl, yeah, let's minimize the look. And like I said, I love using brushes to blend out concealer. I got this brush from Elf, and I really like how it blends out my concealer. I'm gonna put that in the product description below. But like, did y'all even know that? Did y'all know that's why we contour and highlight, or you just be doing it because that's what the girls be doing on TikTok? Like that is the reason why we contour and highlight. It creates an optical illusion. I'm using bronzer, of course. It's not a true contour. Contour is cool tone. Bronzer is warm. That's another difference. I know some of the girlies don't know that, but that's why you need to go cocking with the OG beauty YouTubers, which I hate how y'all be playing the Jackie on her face, calling like trying to treat her like she old, outdated, like she not entitled to no feelings. Like y'all be trying to treat her like she didn't really work for this shit. Jackie is the reason why so many black girls in the 2010s know how to do our makeup. Anyways, I'm showing you my powdering technique, a powder technique I learned from Jackie Aina. Basically, I'm working my powder into my puff to set my face before I bake. I know that is a concept that is introduced to TikTok, but it's shown using a separate setting powder like the Charlotte Tilbury, right? But this is actually the OG way I learned to do it. By working my powder into the puff, it almost looks like there's no product on it, but once I apply it to my face, you can clearly see that it's mattifying and setting. So that I go in and set like this first, and then I go in and I bake later by not pressing the powder into my puff. When I After I do my eyeshadow, you'll see what I'm saying. But this is how I set my face. I don't set my face with a separate, face powder, and then I use a loose powder for baking. You could accomplish the whole thing with just a loose powder. And I was saying in that clip, like I fell to the propaganda of needing a separate powder to set your face, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that you don't necessarily need the extra product. And it's all coming full circle from where I'm starting from the beginning. You can get the most out of your fucking makeup products. And I think that room for creativity is why I love makeup, just the resourcefulness of it all. Now I'm going in with that same NARS soft matte complete concealer, because it's like a self-setting concealer, and I really like those for doing eyeshadow. And the way I'm about to eat the fuck out this eyeshadow look. Like when I tell you about the time I was done with this makeup, bitch, I don't even remember I was sad. I don't even remember. I was like, wow, I look so fucking gorgeous. How could I have any problems? That's why, like, sometimes I don't know. I find the beautification process so therapeutic. Okay, right now I'm going in with the pencil eyeliner. I love pencil eyeliners. And I'm applying that a lot, but concentrated right near the lash line, right? Pencil eyeliners are the best for smudging. And for eyeshadow, I find I actually loyally only use pencil eyeliners. I don't even use liquid eyeliner no more. Now I'm going with this dark brown shade from this Morphe 9W palette that I got for $9 at Ulta. And I'm using like a denser blending brush and blending out that eyeliner. I'm going to go back and reinforce it later because right now it's going to blend out and just kind of look like gray and muddy. But y'all need to see how I work this motherfucking magic. I end up using this Morphe 9W and then my Jackie ABH palette, the best palette from ABH. We all know that. Clock that T. Jackie, I know you have no control over that, but please bring it back. Now I'm going with the fluffy brush, and I'm going in with Ginger from the Jackie Aina palette, and I'm starting to kind of build the shape. So the shape I'm creating is, I don't actually want a defined crease. I want to create a super angular look with my eyeshadow. So I'm basically concentrating the darkness near the lash line and then building the darkness up to the brow bone, but I'm not going past the center of the eye. I'm keeping the center of the eye bare where I'm going to put shadow and keep it super bright. Now I'm going back in with that dark brown and just darkening everything up, but with a different blending brush, because I try not to like dirty them up. And you may be like, that looks muddy, girl. That's why I go back in with the other brush with Ginger. And you see how I'm just finessing it and blending that out. Y'all, should I have been a makeup artist? Maybe in another life. I actually thought about it at one time or another, but building a kit is super expensive. Like, if y'all don't know, starting as a makeup artist, that's an investment. That's an investment. So here I am, just like making sure everything's blended. I'm like double checking to make sure there's no splotches. Now I'm going with a black eyeshadow and I'm basically applying it right where I applied that not liquid, that pencil eyeliner earlier. And I'm going back in with that denser blending brush and I'm just blending it out ever so slightly, right? And once again, I'm making it to make sure there's no splotches in my eyeshadow. Sometimes that can happen, especially when you're like working with darker colors, that there's splotches. So I'm making sure there's no splotches, and now I'm blending out those edges with the fluffy brush that has like no product on it, essentially. And now you're about to see me go back in and bake to sharpen up the eye look without it being super harsh. I hate sharpening up eye looks with like concealer and foundation. I think it looks too harsh, and you can see the powder visibly on my skin. I did not pat it into my puff. Now is a good time to apply the shimmer, because shimmers is where you really get a lot of fallout. I forgot that this eyeshadow shows up gold on the eye, and I was going for silver. But that's why I blend out my shimmers with shimmers. You're about to see what I'm saying. You be thinking you can only blend or cover the eye with matte eyeshadow. No, you don't. I'm taking this silver from this Morphe palette, and I'm blending out my shimmer with shimmer, and it just creates this gorgeous like glossy effect. Like it's beautiful. You can't tell me I don't look. Can I say that on YouTube? You can't tell me I don't look. See you next Tuesday. Anyways, now I'm just finishing up the eye look, y'all. I had to cut the camera and lock in, because I was having a whole ordeal with my eyelashes, and by this point, I don't even remember what depression is, girl. I was like, I look like this is where I really started feeling my oats, right? Also, I do apply mascara on the back and the front of my eyelashes. I don't know. It's just something I started doing one day and I like it. And now y'all about to see. Y'all about to see? Yeah. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, Gorgina. Yeah, I ate. I,